He had the lights on and the curtain was up and down and, all this stuff. So it was looking, the Liberty was performing. And that was like a show in itself.
You went to the Liberty. It was a destination theater. And you went, I think, not only for the movie, but for the experience of seeing it in the Liberty.
A cinema theater is a performer by itself. When one goes to watch a film in a cinema theater, especially the ones like these, you get both the advantage of going and seeing the film and going and walking the rather plush carpets of this theater and thinking of yourself as something greater than perhaps you are. It is a spectacular example of cinema theaters and is very much to be seen in the same way that we see cinema theaters like the Metro, the Regal and the Eros. These cinema theaters stand out because of the open space in front of them, which is definitely a disadvantage that Liberty has. But very interestingly, Abbott and Nam Joshi have turned it to their advantage by nevertheless designing this as if it is a two-sided cinema theater, because the marquee and the tower rise at the corner. Hindi cinema has been nothing if it is not for its songs and its music and its dances. And the fact that signification has been put right on top of the Liberty's call sign, which is the corner tower, is very special.
And I think it was also important because many of these Art Deco structures were some of the first RCC structures. So they made use of the new materials of cement, concrete, and steel. It really speaks to the early embrace of modernism by India.
And this is the way Bombay heralded a kind of national style, which was Deco. I think Liberty says a lot about Bombay's cosmopolitanism over anything else. It was accessible, it had these Hindustani films, but at the same time, it was an entirely, Deco, global, modern structure. And the people that were behind it were also exceedingly cosmopolitan people.
It was all about speed and a dynamic quality, the kind of streamlining to create an aerodynamic form that was supposedly friction-free.
We are standing here in this lobby with, this beautiful mirror in front of me, the grand doors on one side, the smaller doors on the other, the passageways leading to the stalls, and this stairway behind me as the dress circle and so on. It's all designed and all coordinated together to give a single appearance.
There's this magnificent plaster decorative relief that's on the ceiling of the preview theater. I mean, it looks like, a wonderful garden up there, a very abstracted garden. And that would come alive with this very simple technology of different colored incandescent light bulbs.
Those rings of light and how they fade, and it's such a performative space. I'm getting goosebumps as I'm speaking to you.
And that was very much bred into the DNA of the Liberty Theater. I mean, that it was constructed of materials, teak and cedar, teak from Burma, white cedar from Canada. So it always, had a kind of global reach, but it also reflected the best of Bombay, and it just wasn't a subservient modernism and, importing and mimicking the Art Deco of the West. It was very much its own Art Deco.
Bombay has always been a cosmopolitan city in the sense of the fact that it is a city for all. Bombay is also special because it doesn't divide itself, and cinema theaters epitomize this because the rich and the poor enter through the same portals.
Liberty is very interesting because a few building downs you have Dhobi Talao, which is traditional, which is a community space. Catholic population, Parsi population, Irani population, very high. And it was your neighborhood, it was community. It wasn't the kind of modernity that you see just across at New Marine Lines, New Queens Road. So it was at a cusp and it was catering to all these.
People felt that it was really kind of their theater, it was their discovery in a way that those theaters sitting on the great intersections of the city were not.
There's also, I remember another account of this by this Muslim woman about this family going, and of course they're wearing their burqas and going, but everyone's doing all their makeup. कि हम बाहर जा रहे हैं, सिनेमा देखने जा रहे हैं, and everyone's dressing up and all this stuff. And someone says to them, but तुम तो अंधेरे में बैठने वाले हो. बोले तो हम थिएटर जा रहे हैं, खोलेंगे तो then inside the theater we'll be looking beautiful.
So a cinema theater is meant to give you that kind of uplifting experience. It's not just a dark room you enter. In fact, in the sequence of things, the dark room comes last.